Well, hello there. And this is Auntie. And I am here with my review of There's Something About Robbie. Evil Lives Here. Season 1, Episode 1.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs
with a whoop whoop and a boop boop
auntie
boop.
that everybody needs.
You can make this up.
Now you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie.
So why even bother?
Aunties and lies, sweet old auntie. Aunties that way. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Well, hello, everybody. And if this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining the family. And to all of my nieces and nephews who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. This is one of my reviews in my murder mysteries. They will be coming to you each week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today, I want to do a review of Evil Lives Here, Season 1, Episode 1. There's Something About Robbie. This gentleman that is sitting behind me had a very, very troubled life. And we're going to talk about it from his stepmother, Candace's point of view, and his father. Candace opens up this particular episode not wanting to do the interview. She indicated in the interview that she did not want to do this. She seemed very troubled and shaken from the very onset of the interview. So the stage is already set that this is about to be deep. Candace goes on to talk about a telephone call that she received from her husband. She said when she picked up the phone, she said, "Did you see what happened?" Her husband on the other end said it was Robbie. She said she began to scream and yell, and she cried out Robbie so loud that she passed out. Candace goes on to tell us a story, a very vivid story, if you will, about Robbie. Robbie was a little boy, and according to records, was living in the UK. He was born to Ronald Hawkins and Maribel Molly Rodriguez. He was estranged from his parents and was living with two of his friends in a ranch-style home in the Quail Creek neighborhood of Bellevue, which is a suburb in Omaha. When he came to live with his father, nobody knows why he did. He came to live with his father and his stepmother, Candace. During this time period, they noticed that there were, little outbursts from little Robbie, baby Robbie. Well, one day they got a telephone call from the school. the kindergarten teacher called them and said that they needed to come and pick Robbie up from school because Robbie went off in the classroom and assaulted somebody's child with a chair. Now, at this time, Robbie was allegedly 5 years old. Can you imagine as a parent getting a call from a school and your kindergarten child has thrown a chair and assaulted children in the room? Of course, the parents, had to go to the school and pick up their son, and they had told them that this was absolutely the last straw with him. The last straw. So, of course, the two of them came home, Candace and Ron, and came home, and they had to have a discussion about what to do with little Robbie. And they decided that little Robbie needed to go and get some in-care therapy. So they took Robbie and they put Robbie in a home, and this was them having to deal with him. Candace goes on to say, how do you tell a 4-year-old child that they have an opportunity to come back home? That we're not leaving you, we're getting you help. So while Robbie was going, to this place, as parents, they're devastated. They don't know how to respond or to react like this. They've tried everything that they could with Robbie in order to, try to calm his fears and his attacks and his loud outbursts. But at this point now, they're at their wits' end. He's been kicked out of kindergarten, and so they have no other choice but to take little Robbie to this home. So Robbie is at this home. He's been there for a couple of years, and he's made progress. The counselors have said that Robbie is not the same Robbie that he used to be, and they decide to go and pick little Robbie up. When they bring little Robbie home, for a while, he's doing okay. He's doing okay. But after a while, Robbie became very dark. See, Robbie did not like Candace because he felt like Candace, if she were out the way, his mother and his father would be back together again. There are a lot of children who believe that, and Robbie certainly was one of them. One day, Candace described an incident which she went upstairs to tell little Robbie that it was time for him to eat dinner. Robbie was in the room, no lights on, no nothing, and he looks at her with the evil eye. And she was like, "Did you hear me? I said it's time for you to eat. If you do not come downstairs and eat, I'm going to toss your food out." Robbie gave her the evilest eye that he could give her. He got up off the bed and walked slowly to her. At this time, this is not the same little 4-year-old, 5-year-old Robbie. This is now a teenager Robbie who is taller and bigger than his stepmother. So Robbie decides to walk over to her very slowly, methodically. He gets up into his stepmother's face and he said, "Don't you ever tell me what to do again." He steps slowly away from her. He continues with the look. I'm trying my evilest look, okay? And he closed the door in her face. There were little incidents that happened in and out of the home where Candace and Ron begin to understand or to recognize that something is wrong with Robbie. Now, they have tried therapy. He's been misdiagnosed, diagnosed, all kinds of stuff has been happening with Robbie, but Nobody can pinpoint. Every day he grows more evil, more hostile in the household. Candace is now shaken and stirred. Okay? Because she understands that this relationship between her and Robbie is not going quite well. Now, Robbie is staying secluded in his room. He's trying not to come out. You know what I'm saying? He doing what he do with the whoop whoop and the boo boo boo. So one day, Candace decides that she's going to go outside and she's going to mow the lawn. After all, this is her home. So she's outside and she's mowing the lawn and she gets thirsty. She asks if one of her two children, her daughter or Robbie, could bring her a beverage or something to drink, something to quench her thirst. And so Robbie says, no problem, I got that. So he comes outside with a soda pop for his stepmother. She takes the drink from him. And she begins to drink. Oh, this tastes a little tart. Where'd you get this soda from? Is it old? Robbie said, no, ain't nothing wrong with that soda. Go ahead on and drink it. Oh my goodness. Oh, here, take this back, Robbie. I don't want this. She continues to complete the mowing project, continues to mow the lawn, and later comes into the household. After a while, she starts to feel real sick. She's like, oh my God, my stomach is upset. I'm sweating. I am sick. Now, she doesn't realize at this point that it's Robbie. She suspects that Robbie just may have, bitch, put something in her drink. And so, of course, they ask, Robbie, did you put something in the drink? Because she got ill after having the pop. There was nothing else that caused her to be ill, Robbie, just this in drink. So Robbie looks. Yeah, I did. I put something in the drink. So, of course, Candace, who knows that this mofo don't rock with her. He don't lean with her. Looks like, Robbie, why would you do something like that? Were you intentionally trying to poison me? And his daddy stands in and says, he's just a kid. It was just a prank. Right, Robbie? Mofo. Ain't nothing funny about a mofo putting anything in my drink. Now, when she was drinking the drink, she noticed that Robbie was watching every time that throat gulped it down. Because Robbie wanted to see what effects it would have on her. But they sat there at the table and Robbie gave her a sorry ass excuse. Because his daddy, his daddy, wanted to make an excuse for Robbie. No, there's no excuse for Robbie. But this is just incident number 2. So they go in the house, they notice that, they're going on with their lives. They're noticing that he is becoming angrier and angrier and evil. Right? So Candace noticed and her daughter noticed that Robbie had begun stealing money out the daughter's room. She had a little job, little knick-knack, patty-whack, and give a dog a bone type of job. But whatever she had, she was keeping her coins. And they noticed that Robbie was going in and snatching the coins from the daughter. So one day, Robbie was coming out of his bedroom. He had a backpack up on that back. And Candace, the mother, was on a sneak tip, hiding behind the stairs trying to see what Robbie was doing. She saw Robbie when he came out the room. He got that mofo backpack. So she confronts him and says, Robbie, stop walking. He turns around. She's standing 10 toes to the ground because he's stealing from her daughter. She finally caught him red-handed. So she was like, Robbie, give me the backpack. Robbie said no. She said, give me the backpack, Robbie. You got your sister's money in there. He said, you'll never take my side. You never been for me. She said, you're going to stop stealing from your sister. So Robbie screams at her. He turns to walk away and she grabs the backpack. And a fight ensues over the backpack. They pull it and yank it. And while they are doing what they're doing with the whoop whoop and the boop boop boop, her wedding band across Robbie's face. Robbie now has a gash up on his mofo face. Bitch. You already know he crazy. You already know he's strange, bitch, and deranged. And you gonna go toe-to-toe with him and then cut him? You know, he probably little Robbie's precious little face ain't never been cut. Robbie said, if you ever touch me again, I'll kill you. Candace bitch let that backpack go. She shrunk down real low and was like, I'm scared. Ain't nothing worth this. I could just tell me how much you took out the drawer and I'll put it back. I will put that back for you. Candace thought that this was an incident that was going to go on. She thought that this was going to blow over like everything else. But she was afraid to sleep in her own house at this point. She knew after all the things that Robbie had been doing, bitch, that things was coming to a mofo head. The next thing you know, they get a telephone call from the school. Bitch. They've got to go and make an appearance at the school because obviously something has happened in their house, and the principals and the staff, the administrative staff, have a young boy who's in school cut in his face. Certainly we've got to call Child Protective Service because Robbie needs help. So while they sat in the office being reprimanded by officials, right? Robbie standing out the mofo glass like that. See, it seems that little Robbie went to school and told all of his friends that his stepmother, his dear old stepmother, assaulted him. So now she's got to stand in there with the officials, her and her husband, and explain why he got a gash up on his mofo face. But what Robbie did was told all the kids in school that he's going to get that bitch Oh, yes, he was. Robbie said he would get her alive. Get her woke or sleep. At the very sound of it, Candace said, I ain't gonna be able to do this. I ain't gonna be able to do this. So she has a conversation with her husband. Because at this point, she's scared. And she ain't got time to be going down to the school. Getting all accused, you know what I'm saying? Getting all accused. She said, I ain't got time for that book. I got to make my own way. Now, honey, that your son a little fucked up. Okay? It's either him or me. Because at this point, I see dead people. Bitch, it's time for me to get up out of here or he got to go. Robbie, in the meantime and in between time, standing on top of the steps, he like ear hustling like God. He like that up on the ear hustle. So they like, honey, he's just a kid. He's just a teenage. He's a teenage kid that told everybody that he's gonna get my ass. And I can't sleep in the house with him. I ain't sleeping at night. Okay, I'm up all night. Bitch, I'm crying, I'm screaming. I ain't gonna be able to do this. So the father agrees and calls the cops. And the cops take Robbie. And Robbie is institutionalized. He is in now a psychiatric joint. Okay, if we will. Getting bitter by the day. But of course, his father does not want to give up on him. They think that Robbie can be rehabilitated. But Robbie, all the therapists, psychiatrists, bitch, even the rats that's running around that mofo says something is wrong with Robbie. But his daddy thinks that he can be rehabbed. And there are some children who can be. But Robbie. It wasn't Robbie. So they go to the wards and they go and see him, and every time he comes, he's evil with his stepmother and he's sweet with his dad. And they see that, he's not making much progress. But the father is hoping beyond hope that he can save his child. So one day they come because the Robbie was so out of hand that they said, Robbie can't have nothing in his room. The only thing that we're going to give Robbie is some crayons, some colored pencils, and some paper. And let Robbie express to us how Robbie feels. Well, let me tell you how Robbie felt. When they went in to check on Robbie and to look at the paintings and the creative art that Robbie was creating, it was pictures of her with knives stuck all on her. It was pictures of the daughter, the father, laying on the sofa. He even drew a picture of his stepmother with her around her neck. They thought that they was coming to the hospital, to the clinic, if you will, to the joint, to get Robbie to apologize. Robbie said, fuck that. She is the reason why, in his mind, my mommy and my daddy ain't together. She sat there in the chair. They kept trying to, have these little counseling sessions with Robbie because, Robbie was so evil. And so they decided to have these counseling sessions. And she sat there and she pulled one of the papers and she said, Robbie, why would you draw this? He wants to fuck you up. He don't like you. Multiple reasons why Robbie's drawing that. Now Robbie is about to max out the system. He's about to be 18. His father wants him home. But Candace said, I can't do this anymore with you. because there was an argument and a tussle between her and her husband the whole entire time. Of course, she carried the weight of all of that because she felt like it was her, it was because of her that Robbie had to get about the house and become institutionalized. His father wanted him home. He thought that he needed to be free and that he could be fixed. So Candace stood in the kitchen and she told him, you know what, it's over. Yes, it's over. The tears are gone. What's the use of trying to hang on? With tears rolling down her eyes, she barely got that verse out. She said, I gotta go. She left her husband because she felt like she wanted Robbie to come home too. She wanted Robbie to come home too. So she was willing to sacrifice her relationship with her husband for the sake of his child. Now, they never did say where the fuck the daughter went, but I got a feeling that the daughter was like, as soon as I get old enough, I'm getting the fuck up out of Dodge. I'm sure she was like, I'm getting the hell up out of here. Y'all ain't even able to get this mofo to stop stealing out of my cotton freaking bag and out my room. This mofo is completely and totally cracking out. So I'm sure when she got grown, okay, good and damn grown, she rolled out. Or maybe she rolled out with her mother, because they don't talk about what happened with the daughter. The father said that every doctor had misdiagnosed him, could not tell them what was wrong with Robbie. Did he have AD? Did he have ADHD? Was he schizophrenic? Was he depressed? What was wrong with Robbie? Nobody knew. Remember when I told you in the beginning that Robbie, Dad had called Candace on the phone, and Candace screamed? Do y'all remember when I told y'all that? There was a reason why that happened. And I am going to share that reason with you.
Evening. Cascade all-pros in units. Male ran into the women's Macy with a long rifle. It was chaos at the Cascade Mall, about an hour north of Seattle. Victor Solano heard the shots.
I heard about one, and then two, and then that's when I turned around, and then that's when round started going 1, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I've got 2 victims down bleeding in the makeup section. These security photos show the alleged gunman inside Macy's with what looks like a rifle. Earlier pictures show him empty-handed, according to Mount Vernon Police Lieutenant Chris Kamek.
The suspect entered the mall without a weapon. About 10 minutes later, entered Macy's with a rifle, fired multiple times, struck 4 females ranging in age from a teenager to seniors. Also, a male was struck.
In all, 5 people were killed, and shoppers were frantic, scrambling for shelter. This woman got a call from her daughter, who was inside the mall.
She just said there's people shooting. I heard a gunshot. I told her just go to the bathroom and lock the door. Just lock the door.
Police said the gunman fled the scene shortly after the shooting and headed toward the interstate. Among the clues he left behind, I got 1 rifle left in this area. Police recovered a weapon, but won't go into details.
I don't know what his motivations were. I don't know what his motivations was to do this. I don't know what his motivations was to continue. I don't know what his motivations was to stop.
Do you all remember the Ross Roads Mall shooting in Omaha, Nebraska. Little Robbie was the one who went into that mall on Wednesday, December 5th of 2007 and killed 9 people, including himself, and wounded 4 others. Yes, that was Little Robbie. Little Robbie. Now, according to records, it says prior to the shooting, an hour before the rampage, Robbie's mother gave the sheriff's department suicide note, which read as follows, quote, I just want to take a few pieces of with me. Just think though, I'm going to be fucking famous. Just let that sit for a minute. He wanted to be famous? Or was he cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? His father says that he never thought that little Robbie, of all his psychotic episodes and all of the threats and trying to poison his mama or stepmama, that he could be capable of doing such a thing. But oh yes, he was. Oh yes, he was. We send our condolences to those people who lost their lives at the Westroads Mall back in 2007. We are hoping that they have found some peace in this situation and have been able to move on. Evil lives here, and its name was Robert A.